2. So tell me if you guys can hear me now, if it's too loud, how it's going. Don't mention nachos. I want nachos now. Let's see. Can you guys hear me? I feel like Tina. Dun, dun, dun. Yes? Yes, does that mean you can hear me? Yay! I think people can hear me. Yay! Okay, you can hear me. You can probably already hear my little sister typing back there. She's got a rage, so she is going to be speedily typing back there. But hey guys, welcome to the live portion of Comic Scoop, where we will be talking about the comic that we read. And so this past week was Death Sentence. I'm going to go ahead and start with saying that I really appreciate you guys reading the comic and joining me for this. It may be a little bit rocky because I'm trying to figure out what kind of format to use for this. Twitch is kind of weird. It's not really set up for communication like this, but I'm going to try and see what I can do. Alright, cool. It says that you're raging on your keyboard.
I'm not!
You are so raging on your keyboard. Okay. Okay, so we all have Razer keyboards here, so it's all very, like, clacky at all times. It basically sounds like that, but, like, times a million. So, but anyways, thank you guys for joining me for Comic Scoop, and this is going to be the fun, interactive portion of it, where we will talk about the comic that we read, and I'm going to pose some really fun questions to you guys. And so we read Death Sentence. I guess I should have prefaced with the fact that I feel like I should have given it a rating. Rage typing comments. Because I was rereading it the other day to kind of get an idea of what to ask you guys, and I completely forgot like how much sex there is. So I'm sorry if any of you guys were reading this on like public transportation or somewhere where people could look over your shoulders. I'm really sorry. So but anyways, so let's get into talking about the comic. I was rereading it the other day, and it really reminded me of why I liked it, because it's really gritty. There's a lot of sex. It's like modern Game of Thrones, so there's like sex everywhere. It's actually got a really good idea and premise. You know, what do you do if you know you only have 6 months to live? Like, I feel like if I had 6 months to live, I would try and change the world for good. But I don't know. Would I, or would I just be like pissed off that I'm gonna die, and so, you know, I'm gonna be like Monty and just screw everyone and just have a good time and do whatever I want. So, okay, so it says it's a little loud. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna lower this. Alright. Reading it on a train was entertaining. That happens to me sometimes when I'm on the subway. I read things and I'm just like, oh god. Yeah, that happens. It's kind of funny. Your typing is just hilarious, by the way.
I'm sorry.
Wait, someone gave that to their kid? Oh my god, don't give this to your kid to read. It's like rated R, definitely. Oh no, okay. My little sister is over there. We're just gonna be sneaky and show her in the corner over there. Alright, so anyways, so I really like this because it's gritty. It poses some really good, you know, questions. I've always kind of wondered, like, what would I do? It's one of those questions I think a lot of us ask, kind of like, what would I do if I won the lottery? So it's like, what would I do if I had superpowers but limited time, you know, to live, or something like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post questions to you guys, and I'm gonna kind of see what you guys say, and we will go on from there and kind of make a discussion out of it. So the first question that I have for you guys, based on the book, is what would you do if you only had 6 months to live and superpowers? Like, what would you do? Would you become a villain, or would you become a superhero, and why? So I'm going to give you guys to type this out. And that way I can get some answers. I want to see what you guys think. I would want to become a superhero, but I might have to do some villainous things, like things that I don't know. I don't know. I think our government needs to start over. I should probably not say that online. But no, I don't know. I'd get rid of Donald Trump. That would make the world a better place. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Ah, what if someone's watching? All right. Oh, that's a good idea. So get rid of like the entire most wanted list. That's a good idea. That would actually be really helpful. Let's see. Baka, you'd be just an anti-hero. So you'd basically be Deadpool essentially. The only thing is, are you as witty as Deadpool? Is the question. Let's see. Dude, just eat it, Chipotle. Just eat it, Chipotle. It's okay. It's supposed. They said it was safe now. It was in the news. They said it's safe now. There's no more outbreak. Just like right before you eat it, but just have Chipotle. Benchmark. No, you don't get to choose which superpower you have. Everyone kind of develops their own, and it all depends. That's actually going to be another question later. But, you know, what would you do if you had superpowers? And Jack. Jack is like, you know, that is your classic hero answer of wanting to be remembered as a hero when you go out. I think all of us, you know, some of us, I don't want to say all of us, but I think some of us can relate to that idea. Okay, so Tranquil Turtle would actually be a villain. So I've always been good, so it'd be fun to be bad and to do things I've never done. Oh, so you're like the repressed good that you're just like, all right, well screw it, I'm just gonna be as bad as I could never be. Okay, so you'd be the one that we need to watch out for if this was actually happening. You'd be like one of those like preacher's kids that just like goes crazy afterwards. A lot of villains. There's a lot of villains here. All right. All right. Assassinate corrupt policy. See, we're not supposed to shadow bust. You're not supposed to say those things online if they're watching. I'm just kidding. Let's see. See, the one Brian. Okay, you and I get. We see this whole thing of, you know, coming up from people that didn't have a lot and then wanting to give back. So you're kind of that Robin Hood thing. I get that. I kind of have that too. You know, I mean, I didn't have I had a lot, but I didn't have a lot. You know, I had enough. But you know, I would love to be able to give to those less fortunate. So I totally get that. Let's see. ISIS would be gone. Very nice. That would be needed. Let's see. Ooh, that's really dark, and I feel like that. Okay, so Dragon King 1278 said I would be a hero, but in time slowly probably just go berserk because of all the corruption and destroying the world than myself. So I could see that being like a secondary to this, actually like a part two, where it's just you know, trying to be this great hero, but instead you just kind of go nuts. I think that's where a lot of supervillains come from. I think supervillains maybe come from a place where they're really happy and then they just see the corruption and everything and suddenly they're done. And I have a cat somewhere. Let's see. A lot of villains. Okay. Alright. So, based on that, whether you're a villain or a hero, so my next question, what powers would you hope to have? And how would they help you on, like, your journey of being a supervillain or a superhero? For me, I've always wanted to fly. I think that would be really, really cool. You know, I would want to be able to do some covert stuff. I want to be able to like stop wars and be able to help bring around about peace around the world. I know it's kind of a cliche thing to say, but you know, I think that would be kind of my angle. So for me, I'd want stuff that would make me covert, like invisibility. Um, you know, the ability to get to places instantaneously. So real spy kind of superhero powers is what I'd want. Because I feel like that would get me to where I could actually discover some things and make some changes. I'm kind of a tranquil turtle again. Mind control. Mind control would be really handy. Um, I've always felt like if I had superpowers, I would eventually use them a little bit for bad because I would like get stuff that I'd really want. So I'd be like, you will give me that diamond necklace. You will give me that vintage comic. I would just have all the things that I really wanted because I would just tell people to give them to me. So it's not technically stealing because they're giving it to me. So energy manipulation. Okay, that would be kind of cool. Derek Cage. I'd actually like to see you expand on that. If you actually expand on the energy manipulation and how you would use that. Let's see. Benchmark. Control over space and time. Okay, so you'd be the doctor. So you'd basically be the doctor. And I don't know. That poses an interesting question too, because you have a 6-month time limit before you die with the powers. So if you can control time and space, you could theoretically get around the whole 6-month period by going back in time. Maybe that actually would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Let's see. Wolverine's healing factor. Okay, so if you had Wolverine's healing factor though, and this is a virus, remember, so this is a virus, if you had his healing power, would that heal the virus? And then you would no longer have the virus, and then you wouldn't have superpowers anymore. But then you wouldn't die. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, I'm gonna wait and let some people catch up to what I said. Hold on. Rage 126. Good point about not manipulating your own time. So you'd have to let your friend be able to go back in time. I don't know. I don't want to die in 6 months. That would be the sucky part. I'd try to find a way around, like, it's like a genie's bottle, and you're like, no, my first wish is I don't die in 6 months. Let's see. Shape-shifting so you can get into anywhere you want and screw other people's lives. Okay, so you're definitely Zach Man's like definitely on the villain route there. Let's see. I don't know whether Arkham Knight is saying that I should speak Spanish or whether you would want the ability to speak Spanish. But if not, yo hablo un poquito español, pero not a lot. So that's about all you get. Let's see. Okay, so I don't don't think you can choose whether it would just sustain, whether the healing ability would just sustain you or whether it would actually heal the whole virus. Like, I feel like if you have Wolverine's powers, it's gonna heal the whole damn thing, and then you no longer have powers, but you essentially be your own antivirus. You're your own cure. Okay, so Derek Cage, Sebastian Shaw as far as energy manipulation. Okay, I can get it. We got Mario. Mario here would be another hero with the power of Goku's instant transmission, and then teleport to people who are in trouble. So, very, very hands-on superhero there. Let's see. Yeah, see, Jack, I feel like I would want the healing power and not die in 6 months. I would, I think there's a lot you could do with like a little bit of powers for a couple hours. You could sustain yourself for a while. You could put some money aside and then cure yourself. Let's see. Immortality. I don't know if you could get immortality as one. I feel like immortality is like inherently an ability you cannot get with the G plus virus. It's like, I think that's like built into it. It's like if you're gonna die in 6 months from it, I doubt the ability is gonna be like you don't die, or that's like some like weird rare case. Let's see. Controlling reality like Scarlet Witch, that'd be kind of cool. Okay, Dragon King, that could be kind of interesting. The healing factor being like Deadpool. I could see that. Let's see. Could always become a vampire. I don't know. I don't think vampires exist in that world, though. Okay, let's see. Alright. I think we've like killed that question. Alright. Let's see. So the next question is, how would you feel about infecting someone even if they wanted it? So like we saw Weasel and Monty, and they had their groupies and the people that are like, hey, please infect me. I want to be infected with the virus. Here's the dilemma. You're essentially killing these people. You are giving them a sick, well, it can be longer than that because you have 6 months to live from the minute the virus goes active, and kind of like HIV, you can live with it for a period of time before it goes active. So, but you are essentially killing someone. You are giving them a virus that will essentially kill them. So, how would you feel about infecting someone kind of like Weasel or Monty or Charlie Sheen? I mean, ooh, I didn't say that. Too soon? Anyways, just kidding. So that's my next one. So how would you feel if someone wanted to? It's kind of like, the people that are like, I want to become a vampire. But it's like, okay, well, you're not going to have a soul, though, afterwards. So you're essentially, making it where someone doesn't have a soul. How would you feel about infecting someone if they wanted it, but you're essentially killing them? Someone comment my Charlie Sheen comment. So you'd make them your minions, but it's not like a vampire where you sire them and then they're your like little beings. This is just a human being that's like, I want to have sex with you and get this virus. So at some point I get superpowers, but not realizing maybe that they're gonna die, like there are consequences. Derek, so it's a sexually the G plus virus. For anyone that's watching this and didn't read, I'm sorry, you're gonna get spoilers. My apologies. The G plus virus is basically, think about HIV. It is a virus where you can get it. It's sexually transmitted, and once it goes active, you actually only have 6 months to live. But in those 6 months, you get superhuman powers. So that's what we're dealing with, is this spread of the G plus virus, which is actually really horrifying if you think about it, because if you have a population that's wanting to contract this, you're giving everyone a shortened lifespan. So me personally, I would just find like a bomb shelter and just stay there for 3 years until people just eventually just die out because they're all getting this virus. And then like the survivors of the world, and we can just have a post-apocalyptic world after that. So Mad Max and all. But all right, so that was basically that. See, I don't think I could infect anyone either. Like, even if they wanted it, even if they wanted the superpowers, I don't think I could do it. I'd feel so bad. I would feel horrible. That is true, see, and then another vortex brings up a very good point. The more the infection builds up, the less inhibition you have. So it literally does become out of your control because the virus takes over and makes you want to spread it. But at the same time, like, would you try and fight it? Or, Zach, man, well, if I'm a bad guy, why should I give a fuck? Okay, that's very true. Oh, rage. That's actually kind of a good, not a good idea because that's still horrible, but it's it's a valid idea, is to infect the terminally ill so that they can enjoy the last few months of their lives. Like, you know, if you got 6 months to live, why not live those last 6 months with superhuman powers? So I could get that. Okay. Yeah, okay, I can see it. So I see the people, you know, that are doing it for like terminally ill people. So if you have, you know, like, God, I'm gonna butcher it, Colifo. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. Basically saying that, like, if you've got 2 months to live now, you have 6 months to live because you have the virus, so you're actually extending people's life. Let's see. Alright, so most of you are on kind of the same point where it's like, I couldn't really do it. But then again, some of you villains are you know, saying that you really don't mind. Yeah, I feel like as a villain you wouldn't care. So I think that's why Weasel and Monty really did not give a shit and just had sex with hundreds of women, which, if you think about it, like, that's horrifying. That's like killing off the population within, what, 3 or 5 years maybe? So that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I would just not have sex with anyone for 3 to 5 years and hope that the virus went away. Someone says every time they hear you typing, they think that you're hacking something, like in Fallout 4.
I can't hear you. I have no idea what you're talking about.
She can't hear shit because she's got her headphones on right now.
I have to listen to everybody else.
No, I know. Someone was saying that they think that every time they hear you typing, they think that you're hacking something, like in Fallout 4.
I know, I type like a machine gun. It's so bad.
Alright, very cool. Wait, okay, sorry. Someone said something about spitting acid moving through walls. I was like, okay, so we're Kitty Pryde mixed with an alien. Alright. Um, let's see. All right, so the next question that I had. So what did you guys think about the whole concept of monitoring those with abilities? It reminded me a lot of X-Men and the whole, having the mutants register and kind of keeping an eye on things and keeping an eye on these superhuman beings. Do you think that it's something that would happen? One, yes, I think that it would definitely happen in the United States. That would not even be a question. We would just not know about it, probably. But I think it would definitely happen. They'd be monitored, and I think it's for our own safety, maybe. Because I don't know. While I feel like mutants shouldn't be forced to have to be put on a list or identified, at the same time, you see things like Magneto and like Monty, and you realize that maybe that's a valid idea. So what do you guys think? Yeah, like Civil War. Okay, so yeah, like Civil War. Okay, so everyone's bringing up Civil War. I brought up X-Men, alright? I like Avengers, but not as much as I like X-Men, even though the X-Men movies were really sad. But yeah, like Civil War, how would you, what's your guys' positioning on that? So if mutants were forced to register or not register, where would you guys be on that side? How would you vote? So I'm just sorry. I'm just like reading what you guys are saying. I mean, yeah, I think there would be a way to block monitoring. We already have it. Like, look at what happened with El Chapo, and when Sean Penn went there, and they had all the satellite or the radar blocking and all the monitor blocking satellites and all that. So yeah, I think that it would eventually come out, but for ordinary mutants who maybe are just trying to disguise themselves as normal human beings living at home, they might not have access to that. So what happens to them? What happens to those people? Um, Put them in camps and keep them away. I don't think in camps. It's a little harsh. I don't think they're all bad. But I would definitely, I don't know. See no need to register perfect personally. Yeah, see, I know they've been watched, like whether they register or not. Like in here, Verity didn't know that she was being monitored and watched. None of them knew. But I'm sure as hell there'd be an organization out there that their whole purpose would be tracking down mutants and making sure that they're monitored and keeping up with their activities. Um, if someone had caught the fact that Monty had his power level was higher, I almost wanted to say that he was over 9,000. But if his power level, if they'd known that, maybe they would have caught it before he decided to blow up London, essentially. Let's see. Yeah, see, another vortex. I think it's a logical decision given that one mistake led to the death of the royal family. Exactly. It would be kind of important for us to know what's going on. As long as it doesn't, I think, impede with, like, I don't want them to monitor and then pick up people like they did with Verity and then just, like, take her to an island and it's like, oh, hey, you're going to live here now while we experiment on you. But at the same time, I think that they should be watched and make sure that they're not out using their powers for evil or for some reason the movie Jumper is coming to mind. How he was monitored, and then they started noticing that he was robbing banks, and it was like, okay, well now you need to stop. And let's see. Well, this is getting kind of deep. You guys are getting deep. If the Donald had his way. If Donald had his way, he would make the mutants build their own wall. Let's see. I know, isn't the corgi adorable? Let's see. You know, I'm the same way, Tranquil Turtle. I say let them live as long as they're just kind of being monitored, and at least someone knows what they're doing. I don't think that's so invasive. I think I don't know, you get superpowers, so maybe there's going to be a trade-off to that, is that you might have to be monitored because you get superpowers. There's got to be a balance somewhere. You don't just get superpowers and get to do anything you want. Ooh, that's an idea. So to be honest with Tony, at some point you'd have to accept that. Oh wait, no. It was Sean. Sean, I don't like the idea because weaker mutants would become targets, but it would be meaningless against people like Magneto or the Hulk. Well, but what if you knew about Magneto when he was younger and you could still he was still impressionable and you could get to him, like you saw that he was super powerful and you could get a hold of him while he was still young and impressionable, and you know, maybe you turn him to the light side, to the good side. You know, maybe if you can catch them early enough. The Hulk, you just put him on a lot of medication. Let's see. Hashtag no register. Um, because one kid shit his pants, the whole school has to wear diapers. Okay, by discriminating, you'd make a lot of villains. That's true. I think there is the potential of, if you made them register, that could upset a lot of them, and you could have them coming against the government. So you could unintentionally end up creating a supervillain group. So I could see that. Let's see. Just based on the number of villains here in chats, would monitoring even work? Well, what if they were watching my chat? Because then they'd know who the villains are right here and now. Let's see. So Dragon King. I would say at least the ones that are the most threat because of threat need to be monitored at least, but not a huge threat to let go. But who determines a threat? That's really true. So what does determine a threat? Um, I would say anyone with a super huge power. Like, I think if you have a high power level, then maybe you should be monitored because you have a lot of influence. That could be turned for good or bad. I think if you have a criminal history, maybe. Uh, let's see. Jack Fletcher, if the government doesn't have the power to stop these people, there's no point in watching them, really. But what if you have a team like Verity that is on the good side? What if you create the X-Men? And then, or the Avengers, and then you have a team that can catch these people beforehand? Let's see. Oh my god, this is leading to so many questions, guys. So many good questions. I would, I wouldn't want, would I want to be registered? I feel like if I was a high power, I wouldn't want to be registered. But I would. Oh, that's a tough one. No, I wouldn't want to register. Damn it, I wouldn't want to register. I really wouldn't. Not that I'd be worried that other villains would know. Um, I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want the government to know. Like if I had a high power level, I wouldn't want the government to know, because then you know for sure that you're going to be monitored. If I'm weak, it's not more of a concern of like people coming after me. It's more like I don't want anyone to know I'm weak because it would suck. Like my superpower is farting. Like oh my god, yes, I would love people to find that out. Like those are the powers that you want to keep on the DL. Like just no one needs to know. Derek Cage, even the smallest power could do the most damage. Okay, the power of farting is not going to do a lot of damage, depending on what you ate. Alright, so we're going to go to the next question. What do you feel would be the most, we're going to go with the farting thing. Okay, what do you think would be the most worthless power to have? Like, what would be the power that it would still be useful, but you're just like, damn, I really hope I don't get this power. Like a power that another superhero maybe has. Maybe you're like, I don't want to be Aquaman. Alright? I don't want that. Mystery Man. Oh my god, I forgot about Mystery Man. I forgot about that. There was a Gas Man. Or was it the Spleen? Okay. What, you don't like Jubilee with her sparkles? Just him. Perfect hair always. Perfectly coiffed hair. And I want the Jubilee hate. But man, her 80s outfit was so cool. Alright. What would be the superhero or superpower that if you got, you would not want anyone to know? It's Aquaman, there's only so much you could do with that. Like, trying to think who else, like, just had powers. The power to levitate only 8 inches from the ground. I think I saw that one. The power to grow your own fingernails. I think I actually saw that one. Maybe the most useless power, but I'd want it, is the power to just eat anything I want and not ever get fat. Like, that would be the most useless but awesome power in the world. Like, I really couldn't do shit with that except enjoy my life to the fullest. The ability to only go back in time 3 seconds. That would be horrible. I mean, you could save your own life potentially if you had 3 seconds. Like, you could get a do-over, but 3 seconds, you can't do much other than that. Like, you can move out of the way of someone slapping you in the face. Let's see. You wouldn't want magnetic powers. That would, as long as you could turn it off. Like, if you couldn't turn it off, if it was like Midas's touch and everything you touch turned to gold no matter whether you wanted it to or not, that would suck. You could never put your fork down and you'd be constantly eating. Let's see. Being Ghost Rider. Alright. Oh, sorry. I think it's glitching a little bit. Sorry, guys. Sorry, it's glitching. Alright. So the next one. What did you guys think? So for me, one of the things that I thought was actually really realistic was the whole the craziness of what would happen if everyone had absolute freedom. Like, to see what would happen if the world was just told, screw it, do whatever you want. Like, do you think it would just be complete chaos and anarchy? Like, what do you guys think that was a pretty accurate portrayal of what would happen, you think? I think people would just go nuts. I would, if it got to the point where, someone said there are no laws, there are no cops, go do whatever you want. I would go find, again, bomb shelter for a couple years, let it all die out. It was kind of like the Purge, but it's like, yeah, it would be the Purge. I would go live. Yeah, I'm with you, Death to Hangar. I would go live underground for a while and just let everyone sort itself out. So I would definitely let that whole thing sort itself out. Oh, my stream is lagging. Sorry, it's lagging a little bit, guys. Is there anything we can do? Not much I can do about the lagging. I'm really sorry. I'm trying. Is it that bad, guys? All right. So hopefully the lagging gets a little bit better. So okay. Let's see. Everything would go to hell, but then someone would rise up and put everyone back in place, and then we would have battle royale. I think that would happen too. I think, I think that it would get to a certain point, and then we would try and bring it back. But you would need, again, like a team like Verity and Weasel that were willing to go after someone like Monty. I would hope that we would have superhuman people that would be willing to put their life on the line. I don't think I would want to necessarily put my life on the line if I weren't put in a situation where I was going to die anyways. So I kind of get where Verity was coming from that, because I wouldn't want to die unless, it was going to happen anyways, then might as well help out some people anyways. So, let's see. Trying to catch up with what you guys are saying. It'd probably end up a lot like Fallout. I'm all for post-apocalyptic movies. I do like them a lot. So having that world would actually be kind of cool. That would be really neat, actually. I know it's horrible to say because that means like a lot of the population has to die for that, and it's like a horrible idea in all essence. But I think it'd be kind of interesting. The rich will get on a ship or live like Fallout, and the rest will go Mad Max style. I think that's actually really true. And me, I will be that person that hijacks someone's ship, and I will take it out to sea. I'm not afraid. That's like the zombie apocalypse. That's like my plan. Is I'm gonna go steal some like mega yacht, and I'm gonna fill that thing with food, and I'm gonna be in the middle of the ocean because even if zombies can walk under the water, they still have to stack up pretty damn high if you're like over the oh god, what is it? The Marina Trench. Crap, I can't think of the name of the trench off the top of my head right now. But so yeah, that's my plan. Let's see. The Great Culling. Yeah, I think it would just be mass chaos. I think if a virus came out like that and then all of a sudden you had a super villain, I think there would be mass chaos because I don't think people could handle super beings. I think well, at least most Americans But I think most people, when confronted with a person who has superpowers and can do so much more than you can, I think there would be that inherent fear, and I think people would freak out, and I think there would just be mass chaos everywhere. All right. So I want to kind of just, it's really short, this whole this little blurb. I just kind of wanted to get together with you guys. I want to hear from you guys now. What were your like favorite parts of the comic? Like, what did you guys really enjoy? Like, for me, it was Verity's quitting. Her quitting, that was like one of the best quitting speeches ever in my life. I feel like if people have like a really shitty job like that, they should just be able to just quit like that. Um, I think that quitting was only. Oh, I can see that it's freezing. Okay. I think that quitting was only second to the one on Half Baked. I think that was a little bit better. But so that was really good. I honestly really liked Verity's sentiments on wanting to leave something behind. For her, it was having this artistic expression. She, as an artist, wanted to leave behind one piece of artwork that would basically be her for future generations to see. Uh, so I really kind of, that idea resonated with me. It was this idea of, when we die, how do we want to be remembered? Did we leave anything behind? Are we just, someone that they're like, oh, that was sad, and then just move on? So it was that artistic struggle for her of wanting to leave behind an impression, which I really, really kind of understood and really thought was profound. And then also with Mike Dowling's his drawing, when you see Verity's eyes in the scene where she's being talked to, and she's just laying there and she's depressed, and you can see the looks in her eyes, the expressions that she has. Mike's drawing skills are just so well represented, and how well he's actually able to capture that. So those were some of the things that I really liked. What about you guys? Like, what were some things about the comic that really kind of drew you in? I'd actually be interested, because this will help me decide the next books that we read, and what I put out to you guys. Yeah, the origin scene was it was definitely pretty interesting. It was one of those where you're like, if this played out on TV, this might go an entirely different way. So yeah, that was an interesting scene. Definitely one where you're talking about science and definitely keeping people interested at the same time. So that was pretty funny. But oh yay! I'm glad that for people that are joining us that haven't read the comic, I hope that this hasn't ruined anything for you. I really wanted to have a little discussion where we can all talk about it. I chose this comic first because it is pretty short. It's actually, it's one trade paperback. Some of the ones I want to do later, like Lock and Key, that's like 6 trade paperbacks, and I'm trying to figure out how to break that up where we can discuss it and not have spoilers for people, accidentally have spoilers for people. If we're only going to talk about books 1 through 3, and then someone brings up something in book 5 by accident. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that, and that's why I started off with something kind of small and quick and easy. Let's see. Rising Stars, Derek Cage. I'll take a look at that one, and definitely keep that one on my list to take a look at. For those of you that are wondering what comic we're talking about, we are talking about Death Sentence. Quick rundown. It's a British comic by Monty Nero and Mike Dowling, who does the illustrations for it. It's basically three people dealing with the G plus virus, which, like I explained earlier, is kind of like an STD, like kind of like HIV. Once it becomes active in your body, you have 6 months to live, but you have superhuman powers during that time. And so you follow two really anti-heroes, not really people who want to be heroes at all, but kind of thrust into it, facing one person who's a villain, who just kind of goes the villain route with it. And there's actually a sequel out now. They just put it out. It's Death Sentence London. It's a continuing story. So if you really like this one, pick that up. I think they're only on issue like 3 or 4 so far on the new series of it. So definitely check that out. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do my giveaway of the 5 trade paperback comics for the next show that I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to let you guys know yet what you're going to get, but I'm going to go ahead and pick 5 people. So I have got my trusty pen. Alright, and I'm going to go just up through the street, and I'm just going to pick people. I'm not even looking. I'm just going to, like, see what lands. So, Ray Brooklyn. If I announce your name, email me at anamia.cosplay@gmail.com with your address, and I'll have them sent to you. They're all being provided by Twilight. I'm not looking. I'm picking people. They're all being given away by Twilight Zone Comics in Glen Burnie, Maryland, who are awesome. The next winner is Chief Red Blood. And if you guys hear me call out your name, if you guys can actually type a message so I know that you heard your name, because I want to make sure you guys are here and know that you won. I really want to make sure that people get the books. Alright, I'm not looking. Froggy Tronic, if you're still here, you want a free copy. For those of you that don't know, I am picking the winners of the 5 free copies of the next trade paperback that I'm going to be reviewing. Please, if I call your name, if you can like message or just write in the chat box so I know that you heard your name, and then email me with your address. Rage126. So far the names are Ray Brooklyn, Chief Red Blood, Froggy Tronic, and Rage126. If you guys heard your names being called, please go ahead and type something down at the chat so I know. And I'm going to keep calling it. I got another name to call. Hold on. I'm not looking. I don't want to cheat. I'm not looking. Jack Fletcher. Alright, so I'm going to see, you guys have like a couple minutes to go ahead and respond. So Rage126, I got you. Ray Brooklyn, I got you. Jack Fletcher, ooh, there's a Twitch giveaway extension. Good to know. Thanks. Thanks, Jack. I'm actually going to write that down. Twitch giveaway. Like I said, this is my first one. The show is still really new, so I'm still getting used to it. I'm still trying to figure out how to do this. I think so far it went really well. I think, you know. Let's see. So I still need Froggy Sonic and Chief Red Blood. You have 2 more minutes before I pick other people. Um, Rage, are you sure? Rage, I'll pick it. I'll pick another one. Rage, let me know if you'd like, and I will pick another name if you really don't want it. But if you do, let me know. Thank you, Rage. Okay, so you guys can all thank Rage. I'm actually gonna pick another name. He's actually giving it up. You are an awesome, great guy. Oh God, Ceramus. Man, I feel bad. Kyramus. I'm sorry. I probably butchered the hell out of that. Oh, which apparently you got my Zatanna poster, so you're Harvard. Hey, Harvard, you won. So if you will actually write down at the bottom that you acknowledge that you got it. Yay! Are you laughing because I got your name wrong? I'm really sorry. Alright. Kiramus. Oh, I'm sorry. I suck. I'm really bad at that. Alright. It's looking like I'm about to pick two more names because people have not. It is Froggytronic. Last call for Froggytronic and Chief Redblood. If you are paying attention, you have like 20 more seconds before I start picking another name. And I'm gonna feel really bad, but everyone hears. So I'm 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so they are not here. So I'm picking two other people. Because the last time I did this, only 2 people got free books. Let's see. Derek Cage. Derek Cage, if you will acknowledge. And one more name. And it went to ZD Rocker. Alright, either of you guys here? Alright. Anyone? So we need Derek Cage and ZD Rocker. If you guys will not. Okay, well, I just saw ZD Rocker say redo. ZD Rocker, I'm not going to redo it. You won. Just tell me that you saw that you won. So I know. I'm sorry. For some reason, your name kind of looks like Kramus, so I kind of thought that it was like some St. Nicholas thing at first. I thought you were like the Christmas Kramus. I'm sorry. Alright. Yay! Okay, so my pens are all dying and falling apart. Okay, if you guys were noticing, I totally broke that. Alright. So the winners are, and I'm going to come back up here. Kiramis, Ray Brooklyn, Jack Fletcher, Derek Cage, and ZD Rocker. You guys won the copy of my next book, so if you guys will email me at anamia.cosplay@gmail.com, go ahead and email me your shipping address so that way I can have those mailed off to you. Thank you guys for joining me so much for this. It's kind of short, but I just wanted to get an idea of how this would work, and that's why I picked a small comic. Thank you guys so much for those of you that picked up the comic and read it. I really hope that you enjoyed it. For those of you that haven't read it yet, go pick it up, and I really hope that you that you like it. It's an indie comic. I love stuff that's kind of off the cuff and different, and kind of like a different idea that people haven't seen before. So hopefully I will amaze you guys with the next choice. Also, if you guys haven't seen, I am doing charity prints for Predator Defense. I'm going to just like shamelessly plug this here right now. I am doing charity prints with Spirit Hoods. They're a company that makes these little cute faux fur hats with little, it's like a scarf and a hat and gloves all in one, and they're awesome. They've been like toted by a bunch of different celebrities, which is really cool. But I like them because they donate 10% of all of their proceeds go to actually protecting wildlife and animals through different charities. So I really love that aspect. And through them, I found Predator Defense, which is a great charity. It's a nonprofit charity that goes through and uses legislature and education to change rules and laws to benefit predatory animals. So while it's not as cool as going out and actually getting rid of poachers and getting animals out of traps, which they still do, but it's not as high profile as that all the time. They actually go through the legal ways, which can make bigger impacts and helps a lot more animals. So I have those prints. They're limited edition. There's a little bit less than half of them left. So once they're gone, they are gone. And proceeds go towards Predator Defense. So those are in my store, my Store Envy store. So check those out. And thank you guys for joining my stream. And I will be back with another review and another live stream. And thank you guys for joining me for Comic Scoop. And thank you guys. I will see you at Katsu and Magfest and Anime Matsuri this month. So see you guys there. Thank you. Bye!